affecting on performance of solar steel, then different instruments, because if you want to start work on not in solar desalination but in solar thermal, so which instruments you require and what are the purposes of such instruments, that we will discuss. Then about the passive and active solar steel, and last point for the content, that is a performance analysis. Actually my lecture is divided in two parts. First one, that is a passive, and second one is active. For the active and uh, the current trends in solar desalination system, that we will discuss later on in my next lecture. In this lecture only we will study about the passive solar steel. So actually this is like an expert lecture, so we must understand regarding with the outcomes. Means after listening the 1.5 hour lecture, uh, what will be the outcome. So after 1.5 hour lecture, the participants will be able to first, that is called, define the solar desalination and solar steel. That means definition you can understand very well. Then you can also understand about the drawbacks, why the people are working on the solar steel. Actually the solar steel can be used to produce the uh, potable water. So what are the drawbacks? Why the solar steel is not used by the industry as well as the household application, that we will, that the participants will be understand. Then understand the passive and active solar steel, differentiate of the active and passive solar steel. Then the participant can also understand the use of various instruments that used for the experimentation of solar steel. And last one, okay, if you want, if the participant wants to learn about the improvement in the effectiveness or efficiency of passive solar steel, so by adding the materials, then fins, then nano materials. So these are the outcome. Means after listening the lecture, the participants can understand. Okay. So first of all, first slide, that is called what is desalination. Actually, the desalination word is very simple. So you can see a slide. In this slide, you can see two beakers. In first beaker, you can see it is a saline water. That means color is not proper, and on the other side you can see we can say a pure water. So desalination is a very simple definition. That means it is a process in which the saline water can be converted into the potable water. This process is called the desalination. If the solar energy is used to convert the saline water into the potable water, so that is called solar desalination. So this is a definition of desalination and solar desalination. So in desalination, I think we all have studied very well, because if you are from the mechanical engineering, the mechanical engineering students can understand very well about the desalination. Now, very important point, because my whole lecture is on solar steel. So what is the definition of the solar steel? So earlier I have already told you that a solar steel is a device which converts the saline water into the potable water by use of the solar energy. That is why the name is called solar steel. Now, how it converts the saline water into the potable water? To explain you all regarding with the working of the solar steel, here you can see two figures. First figure, that is a line diagram, and second one is the actual setup. So how it works? So you can see a solar steel has a basin, then side, as well as the glass cover. How it works? So the basin contains the saline water. So whenever the solar energy incident on the glass cover, then after passing through the glass cover, it will come into contact with the water. So whenever the solar energy is incident, the water which is poured on into the basin, so water will be evaporated. Okay, that we can say that evaporation will be started. So due to evaporation, water vapor will be formed. Water vapor possesses the lower density, so it will go to the upper side and come in contact with the inner side of the glass cover. Inner side of the glass cover, and the inner side of the glass cover, it has somewhat lower temperature as compared with the outside of the glass cover. So some of the water vapor will be condensed. Okay, so we can say that condensation process occurs, and due to the inclination of the glass cover, whatever the water droplets are formed, water droplets will be trickled down and it will collected in distillate trough. So this is the simple working of the solar steel. Okay, now very important point, what are the drawbacks of the solar steel? That means why the researchers are working on solar steel. Actually, there is a one fact that the research work will be started due to drawbacks. Okay, so there are many drawbacks, but for the easy understanding, I have put it here only 5 drawbacks. The first drawback, that is a lower temperature difference between the water and inner glass cover temperature. So friend, this is a solar steel. Now in solar steel, whatever the potable water is formed, that potable water, that always depends on 2 parameters. First parameter, that is a higher water temperature, and second parameter will be the lower inner side of glass cover temperature. That is called higher evaporation temperature, and second one lower the condensation temperature. Okay, but in case of the solar steel, what will happen? Evaporation and condensation, both the process occurs in a one chamber. That is why the temperature difference between water temperature and glass cover temperature will be the lower. That is why the average distillate output obtained from the solar steel, it is around 3 liter per day. Average, I am telling you, average distillate output of the solar steel, simply we can say it is called passive solar steel, it is around the 3 liter. The second one, the lower distillate output. The reason that already I have told you, and second reason for the lower distillate output, it is the whole process of the production of potable water. It is only due to the natural convection. Okay, that is why the distillate output or the water obtained from the solar steel will be the lower. Second one, third one, that is reduce the transparency of the glass cover. Now, as we all are knowing, in case of the solar steel, glass cover is required or glass is required. Now, what is the need of the glass cover? So as we all are knowing, if the glass cover will not use, so whatever the temperature rise in the solar steel, so whole temperature will be lost from the solar steel. That is why the glass cover is required. So here I have told you the third drawback, that is called reduce the transparency of the glass cover. So the reason is very simple. Here the solar rays will be incident on the glass cover, as well as whatever the water vapor is formed, that water vapor will be condensed at the inner side of the glass cover. So whenever the condensation will be takes place, so whatever the solar energy incident on the glass cover, that means it will be lower. That is why the transparency of the glass cover will be reduced, and that is also a reason why the distillate output of the solar steel will be lower, or why the people are working on the solar steel to increase the distillate output. Fourth point, that all the water droplets are not obtained in the distillate trough. Actually, this is a basic concept to why whatever the water droplets are formed from the condensation surface, so all the water droplets will not reach at the distillate trough. So there are many reasons, but let me tell you a simple reason. The reason is here, that is called the surface tension. Okay, it, because the surface tension between the water as well as the glass cover, it will be sometimes lower, sometimes higher. So that is one reason due to which the whatever the water droplets are formed, all the water droplets will not reach at the distillate trough. And second one, that here the angle of the glass cover will be always equal to the latitude of the place. But as we all are knowing, it is a basic concept of the solar energy that during the summertime, the glass cover angle will be uh, latitude angle plus 15. During the winter kinetic condition, it will be a different. So that though these are some reason due to which we can say that whatever the water droplets are formed, all the water droplets will not reach at the distillate trough. And last one, that is the re-evaporation of the potable water. So to understand the re-evaporation, here you can see one thing, that here you will find out the distillate trough. The distillate trough is nearer to the evaporation space. Distillate trough is nearer to the evaporation space. So due to evaporation space, the temperature will be higher. That is why some of the water which is present in distillate troughs, so that water will be re-evaporated. Okay, so these are the drawbacks due to which the solar steel is not an important device or important, we can say that, apparatus which can supply the potable water, or we can say that it will have a distillate output will be lower. Now, very important point, if you want to study the solar steel, first of all, you must understand the factors, that which factors depend on the performance of the solar steel. Actually, there are many factors, but for the easy understanding, I have added here only 4 important factors. First important factor, that is the glass cover thickness. Second important factor, it is the depth of the water. Third important factor, it is the area of absorption. And fourth important factor, that is the cooling of the glass cover. So one by one, I will explain you the factors so you can understand very easily. And then if you want to start the work, so it is very easy for you if you will understand the factors very well, so you can start your research work. First important factor, that is the effect on the glass cover thickness. So whenever I have started my PhD in Kari Sarva Vishwavidyalaya University, at the same time, this was my first experiment in which I have compared the solar steel based on the glass cover thickness. Because if you will see the research articles based on the solar steel, then you will find out that some researchers have used the 4 mm glass cover thickness, some have used 5 mm, 6 mm, up to 8 mm glass cover thickness. The people have worked on solar steel, but actually what will be the optimum thickness of the glass cover, it was the very important parameter. That is why first time during the 2011, I have carried out one experiment. This experiment, 3 same size solar steel I have taken, and first solar steel will be the 4 mm glass cover thickness, second one 5 mm, and last one will be was the 6 mm glass cover thickness. And the all the 3 solar steel have been tested from 6 months. So from the 6 months of continuous experimentation, I came to know that lower glass cover thickness will possess the higher distillate output. Reason is very simple. whenever the glass cover thickness will be the lower, so the absorptivity, transmissivity product will be higher. Okay, actually that we all have studied in case of the heat and mass transfer, this concept. So whenever you will work on the solar steel, so at the same time 4 mm glass cover thickness will be the best, we can say, glass cover thickness which can be used. But now one question will be arise in our mind, why 4 mm glass cover thickness, why not 3 mm, why not 2 mm, why not 1 mm? Okay, because this was also a question that many of my friends have asked me. So at the same time, I have answered that here a simple glass cover that I have used for the solar steel. But if you will use 2 mm, 3 mm glass cover thickness, so as we all are knowing, in case of solar steel, it has the evaporation, we can say that area. The evaporation area has a higher thermal inertia. Okay, so if I will use the 1 mm, 2 mm or 3 mm glass cover thickness, I have carried out the experimentation, but due to the thermal inertia, the glass have broken at the same time. So please understand very well, if you want to use the solar steel for the experimentation, so 4 mm glass cover thickness is better. If you will go for 2 mm or 3 mm, okay, it can work during the winter climate condition. But if you will go for the summer climate condition, the thermal inertia will be higher, so it will create crack of the glass, and sometimes the glass cover will be broken. That is why 4 mm glass cover thickness will be the better. Okay, you can also use the toughened glass, but toughened glass cost will be higher. And if I will use the toughened glass, so definitely the energy payback time will be more, and cost per liter of from the solar steel will also increase. And it is our duty as a researcher that how to reduce the energy payback time as well as the cost of water per liter. Okay, so the glass cover thickness will be lower, reason I have already told you. And at the same time, one research article has been published in International Journal of Renewable Energy Research. Okay, myself and my guide, Dr. Pikesha, have published. So whenever you will free, you are requested to kindly see this paper. In this article, I have carried out the thermal analysis and compared the results of the thermal analysis as well as the experimental results. Second one, the depth of the water. Now, if you will see the research papers of the solar steel, so at the same time, you will find out the one parameter, that is the depth of the water. Okay, so depth of the water is very important parameter, because whenever the higher water depth you will taken, lower water depth you will be taken. So what is the effect on the performance? Okay, so please friend, you have to keep in mind that whenever you will work in the solar steel, and basically the passive solar steel, that I will tell you later on what they mean by passive solar steel. So in case of the solar steel, whenever you will work, at the same time your depth of the water will be lower. Why lower? So I have very simple reason. The reason is the lower water depth has always possess lower thermal capacity. Okay, so what happened, that whatever the heat is there, that heat will not be stored, but it will be released. That is why depth of the water will be lower. Now to explain you here, I have put one figure of a famous researcher. He is Dr. G.N. Tiwari sir. Here you can see in his research article 0.04 meter, 0.08 meter, 0.12 meter, 0.16 meter, and 0.18 meter. Then you can see the highest distillate output is obtained whenever the depth of the water is 0.04 meter. Okay, so please mind well, your depth of the water will be lower. So whenever the depth of the water will be lower, so definitely your distillate output will be the higher. Suppose if you will take the higher water depth, so what will happen during the sunshine hour, the distillate output will be the lower. But after sunshine hours, you will get the higher distillate output, because whatever the heat will be stored during the sunshine hour, it will be released. But if you will carry out the 24 hours time interval experimentation, so the highest distillate output is obtained whenever the depth of the water will be the lower. So please mind well, whenever you will work in on solar desalination system, so at the same time your depth of the water will be the lower. Third one, the area of the absorption. Now, what is the effect of area of absorption? So as we all are knowing that solar steel, the distillate output is always depends on the solar energy availability. Okay, now if you will increase the absorption of the solar energy by increment in area, so definitely your output will be increased. That is why here I have put one article that has been published by my one of the colleague, Dr. E. Kabil from Egypt. They have used pyramid type of solar steel with the concave wick type basin. So whenever the concave wick type basin can be used, so definitely your area of absorption will be more. And whenever the area of absorption will be more, so definitely the we can say that surface area or area of absorption is always depends on the solar energy. So solar energy will be there, and if your area of absorption will be increased, so definitely your output will be the raise. So this is the reason. So if you want to increase your distillate output, so definitely you can use the higher absorption. There are many techniques, or many researchers have carry out their research work. This is only one research paper that I have shown to you. And fourth one, cooling of the glass cover. Now, earlier I have told you that if you want to increase the distillate output, so higher water temperature and lower inner glass cover temperature are the two critical parameters. Now, if you want to increase the water temperature, there are many ways. But how you will reduce the glass cover temperature? So to reduce the glass cover temperature, many researchers have carried out many, we can say, ideas. Like one researcher has used the very important, that is called the condenser. Okay, the condenser can be used. Okay, but the design of condenser is somewhat complex. So very simple thing to reduce the glass cover temperature is the cooling the glass cover. Okay, cooling the glass cover. So here you can see two figures. I have put it here from the famous researcher Dr. Arun Kumar. In his research work, they have used hemispherical top cover. In place of glass cover, they have used the hemispherical top cover, and they have compared with cooling and without cooling. Now, in with cooling and without cooling, one thing you must keep in mind that whenever you will compare the performance with cooling and without cooling, so at the same time your average solar intensity or average solar radiation will be same. That is why you can see in this figure the authors have compared the performance of solar steel with and without glass cover cooling with use of same average solar intensity. Then you can see the with cooling, the efficiency efficiency, that means what, the efficiency to produce the potable water will be higher as compared with without cooling. So reason is very simple. Whenever you will apply the cooling, so actually why the distillate output is lower, because whenever the water vapor will be formed, some of the water vapor, water droplets are formed, and the latent heat of condensation that will lost to the atmosphere from glass cover. So if you will carry out the cooling of the glass cover, so definitely the loss of the latent heat of condensation will be reduced, and the cooling will be formed, and due to cooling, what will happen, your condensation will be improved and your distillate output will be also improved. That is why the cooling of the glass cover is also improve the performance of the solar steel. So actually 4 points we have discussed. First one, it was the effect of glass cover thickness. Second one, depth of water. Third one, area of the absorption. And fourth one, cooling of the glass cover. There are many factors, but these four factors are very simple. And if you will understand these factors, so it is very easy to understand other researchers' work in case of the solar steel. Now, if you want to really start a research work on solar steel or solar desalination system, you can read this review article which has been published in Renewable and Sustainable Energy Reviews. In this review article about the solar steel, the factors and other researchers' work have been presented. Now, is instruments used in experiment of solar steel. Now, if you want to carry out the research work on solar steel, so which important apparatus or we can say instruments are required? The first, that is called a pyranometer, that we all are knowing. The pyranometer is a device which will measure the global solar radiation. Some people are also using the solarimeter. It is also okay, but there is a variation between the readings of solar radiation in solarimeter as well as the pyranometer. So pyranometer is there, so it is better. Second one, if you want to measure the temperature at every hour, so at the same time you require thermometer, but in place of thermometer, the researchers are using thermocouple, and generally K type of thermocouple, J type of thermocouple have been used by the researcher. But generally, if you will see the research articles, so maximum researchers have used either J type or K type of thermocouples have been used. Now, in case of the solar steel, not in solar steel, we can say that in every solar thermal application, you have to put your device on the terrace. At every hour, you have to go to terrace and measure the temperature, solar intensity, wind speed, whatever, and then you have to record. But at present, one device, it is called data logger, can be used. This data logger can be log your data, not in every hour. If you will apply the proper programming, then you can also log the data at every second. So third, it is called the data logger. At present, some of the researchers have used IoT-based system, that is called Internet of Things-based system. Okay, and many researchers also prepare the data logger within 2,500 rupees. Also, during my PhD, this data logger price was around 35,000 rupees. But at the same time, I had a grant from Gujarat, so the money matter was not there. But but at present the people are also using the data logger within 2500, but the accuracy is a problem. Okay, so if you want to work on solar thermal, so better you have a data logger. Okay, because the data logger data are accurate. Now in case of solar thermal or solar steel, if you want to measure the wind speed, so anemometer can be used. So here the figure of the anemometer I have put. Now fifth device is very important. Now in case of the solar desalination system or solar steel, the depth of the water that will always remain constant. Actually what the researchers are doing, so I have reviewed many research articles from the solar desalination system and solar thermal application, that if they use the solar steel, so they pour the water during early morning. Okay, and they will not pour water during the day, and next morning also they will pour the water, but that is not a good thing, because your depth of the water always remain constant. Okay, so for the constant water depth, some people have used balloons. Okay, whenever the depth of the water will be reduced, so balloon will go to downward side, so the tap of the water will be open and water will be filled into solar steel. But these processes are somewhat tedious. So here in place of the balloons, here one thermostat valve I have provided. It is already available in market around 3,500 rupees. So it is used to apply a constant water depth in the solar steel, and last one to measure the amount of water obtained from solar steel. Calibrated flask is used. So these are very important devices that can be used if you want to work on solar steel. Now, very important point, because my lecture is on passive and active solar steel. Now, to understand about the passive and active, you can see first two figures A and B, and second two figures C and D. Okay, and you can see A and C and B and D. So if you will see A and C, so only the solar energy is used. Only solar energy is used to produce the potable water. For the production of the potable water, so that solar steel is called the passive solar steel. And if you will attach the solar collector, or we can say that a solar steel which is coupled with the solar collector, so that solar steel is called the active solar steel. So this is the basic difference between the active solar steel and passive solar steel. In passive solar steel, the amount of distillate output obtained, it is around 3 liters. But there are various means due to which the distillate output can be raised. But you cannot couple the flatbed collector, or we can say that evacuate tube collector or heat exchanger, because then it will convert it from a passive to active. So I think you have understand clearly that what is the difference between passive and active. Now in C type, in C you can see it is a double basin. Okay, so what is the use of the double basin? The use of double basin is whatever the latent heat of condensation from the lower basin is there, so it will utilize to increase the water present at the upper basins. That is why some of the researchers have also used on the double basing type of solar steel. In my next lecture, I will share with you about the single basing solar steel, double basing solar steel, and triple basing solar steel. Because in my PhD research work, I have worked on all three solar steel, and double basing solar steel and triple basing solar steel have already patented. Now, in case of the passive solar steel, actually there are various parameters, or we can various means are there due to which the performance can be raised. But here I will share with you only three important things. First one, if you want to increase the performance of the passive solar steel, you can use the heat storage materials. Why heat storage material? That I will tell you. Second one, use of the fins. And third one, use of the nano materials. So these three things we are going to study to improve the output or performance analysis of passive solar steel. Now, why the heat storage materials are required in passive solar steel? So reason is very simple. In solar steel, as we all are knowing, okay, whenever the solar intensity will be higher, your output will be the higher. That thing we all are knowing. But I have very simple explanation. At 12 p.m., the sun is exactly over the observer's head. That is called at zenith. That is called at zenith. So at the same time, the solar intensity will be the highest. Solar intensity will be the highest. So what will happen? That solar intensity will come into contact with first glass cover and then water. So highest, we can say, solar intensity is there at 12 p.m. So water temperature will be always higher. Okay. So due to higher water temperature, we can say that higher water vapor is formed. This water vapor possesses the lower density, so it will go to the upper side and come into contact with the inner side of the glass cover. Due to higher water vapor temperature, what will happen? The temperature of the inner glass cover temperature will always raise. That means the inner glass cover temperature is increased. And whenever the inner glass cover temperature is increased, so condensation will be reduced. The condensation will be reduced. And when condensation will be reduced, so definitely your output will be lower. So in case of solar desalination system, the highest distillate output will never obtain at 12 p.m., but it is generally obtained between 1 to 2 p.m. Because this is my personal experience, and through experimentation, I have determined. I have reviewed many research articles from elsewhere, Taylor and Francis Springer. Okay, many researchers have written in that manuscript that at 12 p.m. Highest output, but that thing is not proper, because reason I have already told you. Now, during 12 p.m., what will happen? Your temperature will be the highest, and also the heat contained by the solar steel is always higher. So at the same time, if you will store the excess of heat, so it is called the heat storage, and such heat can be used for the off sunshine hour. So that is why the heat storage material is required. Okay, so very simple explanation, we can say that why the heat storage materials are required. The reason is very simple. During the sunshine hours, the heat contained by the solar steel will be more. So such heat is stored, and this heat will be released during the off sunshine hour. That is why the heat storage materials required in passive solar steel. Now you can see left side it is a solar steel, and right side you can see for the heat storage pebbles have been used. Now at 2013 I have carried out one simple experimentation. In place of the pebbles I have used the aluminum sheet, and it is insulated from bottom. It is insulated from bottom, and it is put in such a way that this sheet divides the solar steel into two parts. First one, that is called upper portion, that is called evaporating zone, and lower portion, that is called the heat storage zone. And one gap is provided. So what will happen, that excess of heat is there, the excess of heat will emerge from this gap, and the whatever heat is contained, that heat will be stored by the heat storage zone. So this was the very simple experimentation, and from this experimentation around 15% distillate output have been obtained. This was my experiment during my research work, and from this experimentation, one research article has been published by the Springer Journal. The journal was International Journal of Energy and Environmental Engineering. And in this article also, I have carried out the only the experimental analysis, and how much heat is stored, and also there I have calculated here. So friend, this was a simple experimentation, but to improve the distillate output of passive solar steel, this kind of experimentation are possible, and you can also carry out. Second experimentation has been carried out at 2015, in which three similar size of solar steel I have been used. First one solar steel was the simple solar steel. Second solar steel contained the marble pieces, and third solar steel contained the sandstones. Okay, and the experiments have been conducted for around 6 months of time interval, and you can see a cumulative distillate output of all the three solar steel. And from the research work, I came to know that with the use of the sandstones as well as marble pieces, the distillate output has been have been raised, but the distillate output of the solar steel with sandstone found higher distillate output as compared with marble pieces. The reason was very simple, that sandstones possess the pore holes. So due to availability of pore holes, hot water is stored into the pore holes, and whatever heat has been stored by the pore holes, it will be released during the sunshine hours. So sandstones are available very easily, and the cost is very low. So for the increment in the passive solar steel output, you can use sandstones. Okay, and whatever the research has been carried out, so an article has been published in International Journal of Ambient Energy. It is a Taylor and Francis journal. In this article, a thermal analysis has been carried out, and from thermal analysis, the theoretical water temperature, theoretical inner glass cover temperature, and theoretical distillate output received and compared with the experimental results. Now, if you really want to work on the thermal energy storage material, the one article has been published in Renewable and Sustainable Energy Reviews in 2016. In this article, around 24 to 25 materials that have been used by the different researchers have been added. And if you will see this paper, so definitely you can understand very easily about the how to choose the material for the storage application, not in solar steel, but also the solar thermal application. Okay, so whenever you will free, and if you want to work on the solar desalination system with storage, so this paper will be very helpful for you. Now, current research on heat storage in solar steel. So some of my students are working on heat storage material. So I have put, so definitely if you want to work, so here some ideas I am giving you. First idea, that is called use of the higher thermal conductivity materials. So friend, actually whatever the material that have been used by the researchers, so the all the materials were the low thermal conductivity materials, because what they have thought that if they will use the higher thermal conductivity materials, so bottom loss will be increased. That is why they have used the low thermal conductivity materials for improvement in output of solar steel. But if you will use the proper installation of the solar steel at bottom, and if you will use the higher thermal conductivity materials, so definitely it is possible to improve the distillate output. That is why this is a good research area, that in solar steel you can use the higher thermal conductivity materials. Second one, use of the combination of sensible and latent heat storage materials. I think, friend, we all are knowing about the sensible heat storage material and latent heat storage material. If phase change is there, that is called phase change, and if there is no phase change, that is called sensible. Suppose if I will use the pebbles, it is called the sensible heat storage material. Okay, now what researchers have used, they have used either sensible heat storage material in the solar steel for improvement in output of passive solar steel, or somebody have used the latent heat storage material like a paraffin wax, lauric acid. Okay, but the combination of the sensible and latent, both, I think nobody have tried such kind of combination. Why I have put it here? Because the latent heat storage material, so whenever the temperature is reached up to the fusion, so what will happen? It will be quickly release the heat, and the sensible heat storage material will store the heat. So from such kind of combination, it is also possible that you can increase the output during the daytime and during the option sign hours. That is why I have put the combination of the sensible and latent heat storage material in passive solar steel. Third one, use of different designs of absorber plate with higher thermal conductivity materials. Now, absorber, that we all are knowing, absorber it is a place where you will pour the water. Okay, many researchers have used a different design of the absorber plate. Suppose if you will use a corrugated plate, so surface area will be the higher, so definitely your output can be increased. But at present, nobody have tried that idea to use a different design of absorber plate with higher thermal conductivity material. And one of my student in graduation is also working on such kind of combination, and also we have received good results, and very soon one research article will be publishing elsewhere with a good impact factor journal. And last one, use of the different design of absorber plate with combination of latent and sensible heat storage material. So friend, if you want to work on the thermal storage, so these are some ideas from which you can start your research work, either in graduation, post-graduation, or doctorate work. Now, second important point, if you want to increase the distillate output of passive solar steel, so second criteria, that you can use fins. So friend, why fins? So first title that I have put it here, why fins can be used with passive solar steel. So here the fins can be used because the fins can be increase the surface area of water. fins can be increase the surface area of water. That is why many researchers have also used fins to improve the distillate output of passive solar steel. Here you can see a solar steel with square type of fins and circular type of fins. Now, I have also started some work on fins to improve the distillate output of passive solar steel. This is my experiment. In this experiment, I have used the 3 similar size of solar steel. First solar steel was passive or simple solar steel. Second solar steel with we can say that a straight fin, and third one solar steel possess the inclined fin. Now you will ask me question why the inclined fins has been used, because actually whenever you will use fins, okay, so there will be a shadow. There will be a shadow of fins on the surface of the water. And actually, if you will see the research article, nobody has tried to calculate the shadow free area of the solar steel whenever they use the fins. But in my research articles, I have calculated all such parameters. So what I have thought that if I will use the inclined fin, so definitely the shadow length will be reduced, okay, and more surface area will be there. So this was my simple idea. But from the experimentation, I came to know that straight fin and inclined fin improve the distillate output. Here, the third figure you can see the distillate output. It is around 2000. We can say that milliliter. Okay, it is okay. But whenever I will discuss about the straight fin and inclined fin, so there is not much significant difference. That means the conclusion is very simple, that whenever you will go for the inclined type of fin, so there is not much improvement in distillate output. So from such research work, I have carried out research work, and the one research article has been published in Groundwater for Sustainable Development Journal of Elsewhere. Okay, and within 3 months of time interval, the paper has been published. Now, at present, if you want to work on the solar steel with fins, so I am giving you some ideas. First one, use of the perforated fins with variable diameter and its effect on passive solar steel. Actually, whenever you will use a perforated fins, perforated that we all are knowing, the fin with the holes, that's called perforated. So perforated fins can be used. So as per my knowledge, the water can be stored, and during the off sunshine hours, the output will be increased. Okay, and at present, one of the student under my guidance in the post-graduation work, he is working on perforated fins with a variable diameter and its effect on the passive solar steel. And during the 7 days of experimentation, we receive good results. Second one, use of fins with the heat storage material and its effect on the passive solar steel. So it is also good because the fins can be increase the surface area. So definitely the heat transfer rate will be higher. And if you will use the passive solar steel, so definitely during the during the sunshine hour, whatever the excess heat is there, that excess heat can be stored. So the combination of fins as well as the heat storage material can also increase the output or the distillate output of passive solar steel. And third one, that use of fins with the sensible and latent heat storage material. So friend, if you want to work on the solar steel, so I have given you idea regarding with the fins with the combination of sensible and latent heat storage materials. So these are simple ideas through which you can publish a research article, and also if you want to work on the master degree or PhD, you can start the work. Okay, and one review article has been published in which around 25 to 30 researchers have been published their research work on fins in solar steel. All such research papers I have added in these review articles, and it has been published in Groundwater for Sustainable Development in 2020. Recently, it has been published. Now, third and last point for discussion, it is a nanomaterial application. Okay, so nanomaterials, I think, friend, it is a hot topic in today's context, because the nanomaterials have widely variety application. Actually, in case of the solar desalination system, here I will explain you, but if you will see the research articles, then you will see that many researchers have started research work on nano materials in solar thermal application, and they have received a remarkable improvement in performance. Here, for your knowledge, here I have put it a solar steel. Okay, so left side you can see nanoparticles are there in water. Then ultrasonic horn can be used for the proper mixing, and then particles and water is mixed properly or blended properly to form a nano fluid, and nano fluid can be used in solar steel. And whenever you will use nano fluid or nano particles in solar steel, so the nano fluid can be used, so it will increase the thermal conductivity of water and also increase the temperature of water. That is why since 5 to 6 years, many researchers have published many articles in solar steel with nano fluid or nanoparticles. Even I have also performed certain applications with nano fluid and nanoparticles. Now I have told you why research work on nanomaterial is important. You can see up to 2002, very few research papers. The data of up to 2016, this data I have taken from one of the research article from elsewhere. So from 2002, you can see 2002, 2003, 2005, the number of nanofluid paper in SCI journals increased. Then you can see from 2009 500 and 2016 more than 2000 research articles has been published by researchers in from is ISI, that means a Web of Science conference proceeding or journal papers. So from this you can say graph, you can understand very easily what is the importance of the nanofluid or nanomaterial. Now, friend, from the same research article, I have taken one figure. This figure is very important because nanoparticles application in solar steel. So we can say that many researchers have published research articles in solar steel with nano materials like alumina, carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotube has a wide application, not in we can solar steel, but people have used the carbon nanotubes in solar photovoltaic also. Copper, okay, copper, then copper oxide, cuprous oxide, okay, cuprous oxide, even I have worked. Then iron oxide, I have some researchers have worked. Graphene oxide, researchers have worked. Graphene nanoplatelets, researchers have worked. Manganese oxide, silicon carbide, silicon oxide, tin oxide, titanium oxide, TiO2, zinc oxide. That means from this figure you can understand very easily that many researchers have worked on solar steel with nanoparticles, and you can see maximum research have been done with use of alumina, that is called Al2O3, because it is available very easily. That is why you can say maximum researchers have done work on alumina. Now I will share with you some of my research work on nanoparticles application in solar steel. This is thermophysical properties of various nanomaterials. Then you can see alumina, it is thermal conductivity 40. Now you can see 3970 silicon dioxide, then 3007 carbon nanotubes. So carbon nanotubes has a highest thermal conductivity. Okay, then 6000 single wall carbon nanotubes. Okay, 1500. That means if you will use the nanomaterials, so definitely it will increase the thermal conductivity of water. So whenever you will choose a nanomaterial in case of the solar desalination, so please mind well, you must understand regarding with the thermal conductivity. Now, my first experiment is with the cuprous oxide in passive solar steel. Okay, so cuprous oxide I have chosen. Actually, I have used nanoparticles, and nanoparticles mixed with the black paint. Mixed with the black, that means I have not used the nano fluid, but whatever nanoparticles were there of cuprous oxide, I have mixed with the black paint, and that painted on the walls to enhance walls as well as the basing to improve the performance. And here the concentration has been changed from 10% to the 40% based on the weight concentration. And from the research work, I came to know that nanoparticles can increase the heat transfer rate and also increase the saline water temperature, and the cuprous oxide that increase the distillate output from 16% to the 20% as compared with the conventional solar steel, when weight fraction concentration is 10% to the 40%. And here as compared 10 means 16%, 25%, that means what? That is improvement as compared with the conventional. And if you will see the any research article, so in that research article they always use the percentage improvement in output, but the comparison with the 3-liter water, because generally conventional solar steel that always produce the 3-liter distillate output. So 16% and 25% improvement can be possible whenever you will use the cuprous oxide as a nanoparticle with black paint and apply to the walls as well as the basing. This was the line diagram of the experimental setup. We can say that conventional solar steel, and second one a solar steel with painting. Now you can see cuprous oxide Cu2O. It has a density of 6,320 kg per meter cube, thermal conductivity 76.5, a specific heat that is 42.36, and particle size. And if you want to work on the these nanomaterials, you must know about the particle size diameter PSD. So it was ranging from 10 to 14 nanometer. Here, a first diagram you can see at 1 p.m. the highest output can be obtained, not 12 p.m. And the modified, that means the passive solar steel with the painting will possess the highest output. And here second figure shows the cumulative distillate output. So it is around 4,000 liter distillate output will be has been obtained by the modified solar steel. And this figure shows the improvement or increase in the weight concentration based on the productivity. So you can see whenever you will increase the weight concentration from 10 to 14%, your productivity or distillate output is raised. And if you will increase beyond 40%, so that particles will not be properly mixed and that will be suspended. So that is why up to 40% it is okay. And this is a table which shows the daily productivity rise or daily increment in the distillate output. Second experimentation I have carried out on zinc oxide. Okay, same figure you can see, and here's a second figure that shows the one figure which is obtained from the scanning electron microscope, that is called SEM image. And if you will see the research article of the passive solar steel with the nanomaterials, at the same time you will see SEM image, TEM image, and XRD image. 3 images will be there. Okay, and these are the results. Okay, so from the use of the zinc oxide, the distillate output has been raised. Okay, and whatever the research work which I have carried out, one research article has been published in Energy Sources Journal. This is SCIE journal with an impact factor. Okay, and last one, recently I have worked on the manganese oxide nanoparticles. And these nanoparticles has not converted into the nanofluid, but mixed with the black paint and apply on the side as well as the basin plate. And you can see your distillate output has been raised. And then the distillate output will has been raised from 20.8, means 18.93 to the 20.8% increment, and from which one article has been published in case studies in Thermal Engineering Journal. It is a elsewhere publication journal with a impact factor of 4.0. Actually, I have a research group from all around the world, from Indonesia, Qatar, okay, Malaysia. Okay, and one thing that I want to discuss with you, okay, whenever you want to work in group, so definitely your chances of publication will be more. Okay, at present, if you want to work on the nano materials, so first work that you can start, even I have already started, and very soon a research paper will be published, that use of the hybrid nanomaterials to enhance the yield of passive solar steel. Because here you can see I have shown you many materials, but at present very few researchers have used the combination of the nano materials, that is called hybrid nano materials. Okay, so if you want to work on hybrid nano materials, so definitely the chances of the publication will be there, because very few researchers have done research work. But whenever you will use the hybrid nano materials, so stability must be there, because sometimes what will happen, if you will mix 2 nanomaterials to prepare a hybrid nanomaterials, but if it is not stable, so it has not used. And for the stability is concerned, you must know about the XRD and TM graphs. Okay, second one, you can also use nanomaterials with phase change materials. At present, some of the researchers have started work on the nanomaterials with phase change material. So it has also a very good area of the research work, because the phase change material and nano materials combined. So definitely your temperature of the saline water is raised and the heat transfer rate will be enhanced. Then use of the nanomaterials with phase change material and sensible heat storage material. I think nobody has tried any kind of research work with hybrid material, hybrid nanomaterial with sensible storage material, and nobody has have tried hybrid nanomaterial with the sensible and latent storage material. So friend, these are some points, so from which if you want to start your research work on solar desalination, so you can start. uh, Recently, two design have been accepted by Indian patent. These are my citation. Actually, at the time of presentation, my H index was 35, but at present the H index is 36, and I10 index is also increased 81, and earlier it was 80, and there are total citations are 3,456. Uh, from the solar steel research work during my PhD, I received a grant from Guj Coast. It was 5.50 lakh rupees. And at present, one research grant also completed. That grant I have received from SYST, that is Scheme of Young Scientists and Technologists. It is a part of Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi. And from this research grant, I have received 9.55 lakh rupees. And this both the patents are from my research grant from SYST, that is 9.55 lakh. And already 24 patents, full patents has been filed, and among them 2 patents have already granted. So friend, thank you very much for giving me opportunity to share research work on passive solar steel. So now if you have any question, so you are requested to ask. Mahesh Hasani, any research on angle of inclination plate in solar steel? Mahesh sir, it is a very simple question that in solar steel, the angle of the glass cover is always equal to the latitude of the place, because whenever the angle of glass cover is equal to latitude of the place, so the sun rays will be remains normal throughout the year. That is why the angle of inclination of the glass cover is always equal to latitude of the place. Okay, the research is already done. Second one, why the hemispherical top glass cover? So the reason is very simple. When actually in case of the solar steel, a flat glass cover use. Okay, so if you will use the hemispherical glass cover, so whenever the sun is moving from east to west, so due to the hemispherical shape, the sun rays will be somewhat higher as compared with the flat type of glass cover. That is why hemispherical glass cover is better, but it is very difficult to prepare a hemispherical glass cover. And it is also a reason that whenever you will see the pyranometer, to the top of the glass of the pyranometer, it is also the hemispherical shape. Any question? Friend, I have 2 lectures. This is a simple lecture on passive solar steel. Now one more lecture is remaining, in which active solar steel, in which around 12 patents I have filed, and from the active solar steel, around 20 liter water received with the energy payback time less than 4 months, and the cost of water per liter it is only 20 paisa, and it has been patented. And recently one more patent has been accepted and granted, in which 100-liter water per day and 50-liter water per day, two model I have prepared. So definitely next lecture I will share with you, and if you have any doubt next time, you can also ask me in solar desalination. Means today if you want to ask, you can ask.
So
Hello.
participants, if you have any questions.
Hello, Hitesh Wagasia here.
Ha sir, bolo sir.
Sir, I have one question regarding that. In case of fin, you have mentioned some angle. So what is the
Yes.
appropriate angle needed? I think it should be perpendicular to the glass surface. Then we can reduce the shadowing effect.
Sir, actually, my idea was very simple. During the research work, I have calculated shadow-free area, and that area was not 1 meter square. Actually, if you will see the research articles of the very prestigious researchers, so even they have not calculated shadow-free area. Okay, so my aim was to calculate shadow-free area. So at the same time, I have put a straight fin, and then I have applied my idea on the inclined fin. So inclined fin, the shadow-free area was somewhat higher, but from the research work, I came to know that if you will increase the inclination of the fin, there is no effect on performance. And
Okay.
second one, it was remaining there. If you will change the material of the fin, that also there is no effect on performance. These 2 points I have concluded from the research.
Okay, fine. Now, my another question is regarding cost of nano material that you have used,
Yes.
and what about the losses of that material? Because once you are using in steel, then in case of how much it will be suffered to loss while evaporating, is there any, or what is the case?
Sir, losses are there around, but sir, losses are very low. Actually, first experiment I have conducted on the cuprous oxide. In cuprous oxide, around 20% losses was there. But the very important point that I want to share with you, in case of the solar desalination with use of nanomaterial, your heat transfer rate is raised because the thermal conductivity of the water is increased.
Improve. Yeah.
So that was the reason why within 5 years, around 70 to 80 research papers have been published by researchers, and they are increasing day by day.
Yeah, fine.
Not in solar steel, actually, in case of
every heat transfer area, yeah,
every heat transfer. And at present, one of my student is also working on the hybrid type of nanomaterials, because if you will see the research papers, so very few researchers have used the hybrid concept, and as per my knowledge, if you will go for hybrid concepts, so definitely your heat transfer rate is raised, so definitely your output will be increased if you will work on the hybrid type of concept. But sir, what happened in hybrid concept? Actually, it is very simple to tell you that if you will use the nanomaterials, will improve the heat transfer rate, will increase the distillate output, but the stability is a problem, sir, because some nanofluid and nanomaterials are not stable. Okay, and what people are doing, they simply put nano fluid or nano material in solar steel, and they call me, sir, output is not raised. So first of all, you must understand very clearly that your nano fluid or nano material is stable in water or not, sir. And for stability is concerned, you must
Pressure,
know
temperature.
about the XRD or TEM, sir.
Yeah, fine. And what about the cost of nano material?
Sir,
Suppose if you want to prepare 1 liter nano.
sir, not 1 liter. Actually, the cost is not much. If you will go for the carbon nanotube CNT, it is very costly. And remaining Al2O3 and then manganese oxide, cuprous oxide, they are not much higher. We can say cost is around 600 to 700 rupees. And at present, there are many companies are there in India. Even they sell in very, we can say, cheap price. There is one company in Pune. Recently, we purchased manganese oxide nanoparticles. They gave us 40% reduced cost as compared with available in markets. And they also they have provided us TEM, SAM, and XRD image.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
So any participants having any questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
I would like to ask about is the thickness of this nanoparticles coating. Any specific thickness we have to consider for this coating?
Madam, pardon, I am not understanding because your voice was breaking. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, it
What are
is
you
that one research is going on that it is a nanoparticles coating on the absorber of this solar steel.
Yes,
So any specific thickness it is we have to consider?
madam. Actually, that research work carried out by my group, madam.
Okay.
That is coating, and also one of my student is working on his PhD. So, ma'am, at present, I cannot tell you the because of the patent as well as the publication issue. But one thing that I want to discuss with without any hesitation, okay, coating, if you will apply not in solar steel but in any solar thermal application, definitely it will improve the performance. And coating thickness is also very critical parameter because some of the researchers have also tried that idea to define the effect of coating thickness. Okay, ma'am. So
Yes,
coating has effect, but at present I cannot share with you. And at present, if you want to read some research article, so next time I will share with some link. So definitely, if some student wants to start his research, not in solar steel, but in solar thermal, solar collector. At present, Bagasia sir, let me discuss with you. In case of the parabolic trough collector,
Okay.
okay, we are using receiver tube. Okay. So in receiver tube, if you want to increase the absorptivity of the, we can say, solar radiation, so it is also possible to apply the coating. And from
Selective coating. Yeah.
for coating, if you will go for nano materials and especially carbon nanotube, if we can say that if money is not concerned, so definitely your performance will be enhanced.
Okay, fine.
This is a current research work by the NREL, that is the National Renewable Energy Laboratory.
Fine, fine.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So any
thank
other
you.
participants having a question? So I think I conclude. First of all, sir, congratulations for your getting the patents.
Yes.
So I, Professor Mayur Modi, coordinator of this STTP, behalf of the Mechanical Department, Sashit Surat, would like to thank you, sir, to share your views related with the investigations and the performance analysis of the PASIV solar steels. I think this topic is mostly related to our title of the STTP, and the participants that will be understanding all the concept about the solar steel technology with so many articles that you are presented or published. And thank you so much once again, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much all the participants being present over here. So
Yes, sir.
tomorrow,
Thank you, sir.
tomorrow we will join according to our schedule. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.